we honor a self-made millionaire. He started with nothing, worked hard, and made a fortune. That man is Fred Trump, Donald's dad.
The bing, bing, bang, bang.
Calling. A Reuters reporter recently shared this Biden campaign email calling former president broke Don. Now it appears the joke may be on Joe Biden. Former President Trump's net worth just skyrocketed after Truth Social began trading on the NASDAQ. And it has a market value of more than $6 billion right now.
Jesse, the liberal litigators made President Trump much more wealthy.
It's karma, Jessica.
Yep.
And it's so funny the Democrats have been bragging about Biden's stock market, and now they're like, oh, it's a ploy. The whole stock market's a ploy.
So the stock market's open, and what you're looking at right there, a live look at Donald Trump's social media company, Trump Media, down nearly 3% so far in trading today. The market's open literally 40 seconds ago. This after he lost almost 20% yesterday, $1 billion on paper yesterday, plus a little so far today. Matt?
As of market close on Monday, Trump's media company that owns Truth Social is down over 21% in a single session, wiping away all gains since the DJT ticker went live in the market just a few days ago. The reason for the massive losses? Well, that's simple. The company released its finances, showing that business genius Donald Trump's company reported a net loss of $58 million in 2023.
$58 million in 2023.
With revenue of just $4.1 million. Now, admittedly, I'm not a math guy, but earning only $4 million on losses of $58 million
doesn't seem great.
What happened yesterday? Why did it drop so much?
Well, John, today looks more like a dip than a dive. Yesterday, as you mentioned, this stock lost almost a quarter of its value in one day. That means Donald Trump's net worth went down by about $1 billion because he's the dominant shareholder in Trump Media, the owner of Truth Social. You can see the stock just went flat on that.
Yeah.
The reason why it fell so sharply yesterday, though, they posted 2023 results. They were not pretty. The company lost $58 million last year on very little revenue. $4.1 million in revenue. That is so tiny because this is a company that started the week valued at $11 billion. The results were actually very much in line with another digital media company that flamed out earlier this year, The Messenger. I'm not saying that Truth Social is going to go the way of The Messenger, but it does show why. Some experts are warning this is a meme stock and it's ridiculously overvalued. The accountant said that the losses for Trump Media were so severe that they, quote, raise substantial doubt about its ability to continue as a going concern. Let me translate. That is Wall Street speak for we may go out of business.
To put things into perspective,
This sounds like a pump and dump.
I think that the value is essentially worthless.
NVIDIA is basically the hottest company in the world right now. Here's what that stock looks like over the last 5 years. NVIDIA is trading at about 37 times revenue. Trump Media, by contrast, with losses of $58 million on $4 million in earnings, is trading at 1,600 times revenue. That means Trump Media is trading at over 40 times higher than the hottest stock in the world, all while showing an absolutely dismal balance sheet. It's Donald Trump selling garbage shares of a loser company because he frames it as the hottest thing on the face of the earth, and yet when you take even a cursory glance under the hood, it becomes abundantly clear that it is trash.
Shares of Trump Media and Technology Group, the parent company of Truth Social, plunged yesterday compared to a $50.5 million profit in 2022. Donald Trump, who owns a majority of the newly public company, saw his own net worth tumble by more than $1 billion.
This is what we would call a meme stock, which is where its financials are completely divorced from its market valuation. The way you know it's a meme stock, when you look at other social media companies that have gone public, and we have a great proxy in Reddit, which went public just 2 weeks ago, you have a lot of a user base, and that's what the promise is. So even if they're not making money, you think that eventually they will because so many people use the product. But what's unusual is that they're not revealing user metrics, right? Normally tech companies are screaming to the mountaintops to investors, look how many people love our product. Nothing was revealed there. And they're also not revealing much about their business strategy. And so I think right now you have a lot of momentum from what we call retail investors, fans who want to buy into this stock. But are institutional investors, big banks, going to continue to back this stock? Absolutely not.
Can I ask you why they made money in 2022?
They sold ads.
Okay.
They sold ads. And
so then why? But what's the difference? Because I think we can show us they made $50.5 million in 22 and they lost $58.2 million in 2023.
Because they borrowed money and the interest on that debt added up. Got it. And so some of that loss is attributed to debt, which, by the way, is not a great position to be in like your first few weeks, right, on the stock market. The other thing I want to note here, Donald Trump can't sell his stock right now. He's in what we call a lockup, which means that for the next 6 months, he's got to sit on those shares. There's a very real possibility that this stock tanks in that time, and that when he does go to sell the shares, they're not worth anything. And so when all these people are saying, oh, well, Donald Trump's net worth is now billions of dollars, well, let's see what happens in 6 months from now and what this company looks like.
The damning number is the revenue. They're literally, they're like literally supermarkets. And I don't mean chains. I mean the average individual supermarket has greater revenue than Truth Social does. You wouldn't value that in the billions of dollars, your corner supermarket.
But there is something kind of poetic and poignant about the fact that, like, once again, the emperor has no clothes.
Matt, this is no April Fool's joke, but it might be making some fools out of investors out there.
Meanwhile, on Wall Street, Truth Social looks more like a meme stock, with shares of the company plunging yesterday, significantly lowering
on Wall
Trump's
Street
net worth.
stuff, Willie, but
I
who
never
saw
understood
that coming?
this. All right.
Who saw that
We'll
coming? That a
explain
company
all of
that has been losing money from the very beginning. Who would have ever guessed it would have dropped?
You mean a company that loses money probably actually isn't worth $8 billion? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
And what is the stock market based on anyway? It's based on excitement. It's based on hype. It's based on an idea that maybe there's an alternative to the tried and true somewhere else, right? And the commentators made pump and dump. That's not what's happening. That would mean, by the way, that you deliberately pump up the stock in order to sell a bunch of it off. That's not what's happening here. This seems like a real excitement that would drive the stock market.
This was a day yesterday that you had the media actively rooting for him to declare bankruptcy. He was never going to do that.
Now the casino Trump dubbed the eighth wonder of the world will take him on his first trip to the bankruptcy court.
His well-documented and severe financial downturn in the past year, and his public humiliation as his once mighty empire cracked and then crumbled.
Oh yeah, I think we're going to do very well with it. I think it's going to be, over the long term, a great business decision.
Even as the New York Times raises the specter of Trump's casino empire facing bankruptcy, his showbiz career is soaring.
I've had a great life. I've enjoyed my life. I've had a lot of fun. I've had some downs, but you know, I've had friends that went out of business. You'll never see them again. I never went bankrupt.
What goes up must come down. And today, Trump Entertainment Resorts, owners of the Trump Taj Mahal, the Trump Plaza, and the Trump Marina casinos in Atlantic City, filed for bankruptcy protection. Trump himself stepped down from the board of directors on Friday, along with his daughter Ivanka.
I have used the laws of this country, the chapter laws, to do a great job for my company, for myself, for my employees, for my family, etc.